Hello, this is Philip Cargom. This is Tea with the Druid 156. So welcome everyone to make your way into the clearing in the forest and get comfortable. And Kai from North Germany is here, and Melissa from Surrey, hooray, and Marie from Cambridge. Great, it's lovely to see everybody piling in. Richard from Cornwall and Ukraine, hooray, hi Daria, great. Suffolk, soggy London, yes, it's very soggy out here. It's been a beautiful day, actually. It's been a beautiful sunny day. And Sylvia from the Netherlands and Lisa from Washington, hooray. And Philippa in Crouch End and Hugh in Taiwan, hooray. Great, fantastic. Hello there. Hello, everybody. So make yourself comfortable in the beautiful clearing in the forest where we all meet for these teas. And I'm going to set up screen sharing with you. By the way, this tea is brought to you by the Order of Bards, Ovates and Druids, and you're very welcome here, whether you are watching the live show or whether you're actually watching a recording. So now let me share my screen with you and see if it works. Let's see what happens when we do this. There. Oh, yes, you can look at that. You can see that. Now, if I start this. Okay. Now, on the island of Inishkea, it's actually two islands, off the coast of County Mayo, lives a lonely crane who has been there since the beginning of the world and who will continue to live there until our world ends. This ancient bird is known in the Irish tales as one of the wonders and has come to symbolize longevity. And I'm going to show you where this magical crane lives, who has been here since the beginning of time and will exist until the end of the world. It's another view. And here's rather a lovely picture of a seal that was spotted on the island too. But I'm telling you about this because I asked for a number of reasons. I asked for a card that would offer us guidance this evening, and I received the crane. And the crane in symbology is synonymous or related to the heron. And the other reason I'm showing it to you is because Roma, who you may have seen in a couple of the recent teas with a druid, who is living in our little house in the garden, had a lovely experience when she was having one of the Nidra meditations in the 12 days up to the solstice meditation series that you can access, the home retreat series. And she had a meditation where she saw 4 blue herons. And then the next morning, when she woke up in the little house in the garden, she looked out of the window and there was this heron. So I wanted to show you these. Let me come out of here. How do I come out? Stop sharing. There, hooray. So I wanted to show you this because the lovely thing, the thing I like is, I like synchronicities, of course, as we all do, the way these things come together. And also when you ask for guidance, how pertinent it often is. And what is the quality that we need at the moment the most? Well, it is indeed the quality that is symbolized by the heron and crane in the Druid and Celtic tradition, which is patience. When you see a crane or a heron, for instance, that particular heron there, the reason why he's standing there like that is because we have the pond, which is just across from there, and he's waiting to see if he can spot a fish. And in fact, we've had herons who've come before to that pond and who've stolen the fish. But there's also a story about the oldest animals. One of the other oldest animals is a salmon. And we have a salmon who is now 25 years old. And he's 21 years old. And he is huge, and he lives at the bottom of our pool. Now he's semi-hibernating. So he's too big, luckily, to be stolen by the heron. But herons have the ability to just stand very still and to wait and to wait. And then when they know that the time is right, then they strike and they catch their fish. So they encourage us to develop that quality of patience and focus, because of course they stare in a very focused way towards their prey. And this is what we have to do. On the one hand, we have the good news about the vaccines coming out. And then we have the news today about a variant strain in London, which is concerning people. So London is going into tier 3 on Wednesday and so on. So we've seen the light at the end of the tunnel, but it's still a way off. And we just need that patience. We just need that patience. And that quality that hopefully we've been able to develop somewhat over this year, of making that choice to, instead of going into despair and frustration and anger, although those reactions are all normal and we, I'm sure, have all experienced them at times, but like making that effort to be patient and to be still, because the crane also symbolizes stillness. And in the stillness, we can gain a kind of depth of awareness and consciousness. The consensus reality, the outside world, the world of commerce, is constantly luring us to the surface. Let's go up to the surface and look at all these shiny things. Whereas with stillness, where we can go down into the depths. That's the value, of course, of meditation. And it's also, interestingly, it's also the bird of longevity, hence the story about the ancient crane on the Isle of Inishkea. And the bird of longevity, which is, I guess, what we want. And also it's the bird which represents the psychopomp. And the psychopomp is the term for the person who is able to accompany souls into the other world, either in meditation or in journeys, in shamanic journeys, or actually at the time of their death into the other world. And you know that natural feeling when somebody dies, that you if they're really close to you, it's almost like you feel you're traveling with them. It's a very strange feeling, quite unsettling in a way, but as if you're traveling with them. And in a less extreme sense, it's a sense, I guess, that many of us, if not all of us, have of when we hear that of somebody dying, we wish them well and we imagine them on their journey, and a part of us kind of wants to watch over them as they make a safe journey to the lands of the blessed, to the Summer Isles. And so the quality of being the psychopomp is one of being able to be still and steady enough and patient enough inside to be able to travel in consciousness oneself, to be familiar with the roots, if you like, or with the process of journeying into the other world and back. And also perhaps with the ability to help others take those journeys too. And the crane symbolizes all of these things, the heron and the crane. Hence, we have that association with the crane and the baby, or the stork, because the stork, the crane, and the heron, they're all typifying these ideas. The stork with the baby, bringing the baby from the other world into this world. So the journey from death and into birth, this transit to and fro. And of course, in this time of the pandemic, the journeys of those we love, or just of those people we hear every day about on the news, these mounting numbers of people who are making this journey, there's naturally part of us that wants to be with them and wish them well, and to ensure they have a safe journey. And this dynamic of transit, of movement between worlds, is something that we're ramping up to with the winter solstice, which is coming in 5 days' time. There's the natural movement of the year, the cycle of the year, where the nights are getting longer, the days are getting shorter, and then on Monday the new year will begin with the summer solstice, with the winter solstice. If you're in the northern hemisphere, of course, the year will begin. But in addition to that, we're having other energies, pressures, dynamics working. In Britain, there's the whole Brexit business that has been going on for years and years, and moving towards this moment. And finally, on the 31st of December, just after the solstice, we're going to know whether we can get oranges and blue paper and stuff like that, or whether there'll be hundreds of boats, and Kent will be full of lorries, and all these sort of fears and all the rest of it. Is it going to be a disaster or not? So there's the tension of that uncertainty there. In the States, of course, this the kind of madcap drama there has been going on, creating all sorts of tensions about what's going to happen. And today there was an eclipse, so there's lots of stuff happening in the stars as well. There was a solar eclipse today, just on the day that the Electoral College has to make its decision, or decisions, and which is happening right now, I believe. There are meteor showers. And then as we move to the 19th, the conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn will be total, or they'll be conjunct, finishing a 20-year cycle. It's called the Great Conjunction. We're going to move into a new era. So let's hope that's going to be a positive era of hope and of creativity. And so all these things are happening just in these days. And that's why I thought it would be good to have 12 days of meditation running up to the 19th of December. And lots of people are doing this, which is just lovely. If you're doing it, hello, it's great to see you. And we've been meditating every day, and we'll keep going up until the 19th. If you haven't joined in, you're very welcome to start. Don't worry about coming in late, as it were. You're not late. It's just that's when you're coming in. And do join us. I'll give a link. There's a wonderful feeling of so many people doing this. So let me just give you the link right away while I think about it. Otherwise, I'll forget. And you just log in and you give your email address, and then don't worry about there's lots of stuff. There are films, there's music, there's poetry, but you can just go straight to the audio files for the program, and you'll find the meditations there. So I put that up in the comments bar. So interesting times we're living in, and times when, with all these things going on, if there was a time when we needed stillness, this is it. So let's have a meditation now and just go into the stillness and become aware of just letting go of our sense of being in front of a computer screen, and instead allowing us, if you wish, you can just watch and listen if you like, but if you want to enter into this, just sense that you're walking into this clearing if you haven't arrived already, and here you are in a forest clearing. This is a sacred grove, a place of peace and tranquility. And just sit yourself on the ground and just touch the ground with the palms of your hands to feel the good earth beneath you. Sense its stability. Sense the life in the earth. Sometimes just this act of being close to the earth and placing one's palms on it is enough to still us. to bring us to our senses. And in this, we're sensing with our palms. We can feel the earth with the palms of our hands. We can feel the soil and the grass. And we can smell the earth with the sense of smell. And around us, we sense the trees. We sense the roots of the trees deep in the soil, the trunks of the trees stretching up with this lovely sense of protection and peace that the trees bring. Trees bring such a sense of calm in their simple presence, just being with us, just showing us the way, really, to be still, calm, and in their uprightness, a sort of sense of integrity and honor, connecting to the sky. And we can feel the energy of the earth flowing up us, just as it flows up the trunks of the trees. We feel the energy of the earth flowing up our bodies. And then we breathe in the energy of the sky and breathe in this invigorating, vitalizing energy. The energy of the sky meets the energy of the earth within the center of our being. And just allow the eyes of your imagination to open in this clearing. And as they do this, you see that the most beautiful heron or crane or stork has appeared and has landed in the center of your grove. And just take a few moments to be with this beautiful creature, to be open to her messages, his messages, to the quality of being that they convey. There's this idea in the Native American tradition of animal medicine. And I think you will find this idea in every indigenous tradition, every shamanic tradition too, that the animals and the birds can bring us healing. It can bring us gifts that change, often in the most subtle and delicate ways, the nature of our being. So if you feel this is the case with this bird whom you're in the presence of, just allow yourself to accept this gift. And taking this gift to your heart, you give thanks to the heron, the stork, the crane, to this bird. You give thanks and it flies off, it takes off in the most beautiful flight up into the air, circles around, and then you see it against the sky, flying off. And you put your hands again, the palms of your hands on the earth. And you realize then that you're actually with others in this circle, that there are all of us from around the world with our hands on the earth, all people who love the earth, who want to preserve and protect it. And we ask that the land might be blessed, the forests might be blessed, the rivers and the seas might be blessed, that the creatures of the air, the creatures of the land, may they all be blessed. A blessing on our lives, a blessing on the land. And gradually you allow your awareness of being in the sacred grove to gently fade as you become aware of being seated here, fully present, here and now. So welcome back. It's lovely to see your comments. I hope you saw the pictures of the Isle of Inishkea and the heron. I just saw somebody talking about seeing just a black cube. So I'm sorry if the display didn't work properly. So Stephanie Kelly says, I feel like we're living in the climax of a fantasy book series. Yes, I know what you mean. It often doesn't seem real, does it? It's so fantastical, the strange things that are happening in this world. James has had a 5-hour walk around Epping Forest. How lovely. That must have been fantastic, James. Yes. So how lovely. Yes, I so look forward to reading on it. There are lots of comments. I really look forward to reading these. And I see Beth was talking about the crane bag. We're sort of running out of time now, but there's this lovely idea in the Druid tradition of the crane bag, where the Druid keeps their magical implements, which comes from mythology. So have a soothing and peaceful week, and whenever things get stressful, remember all these things that are happening, not only in our own communities and in around the world with the pandemic, but also the movement of the stars. The great thing I think about thinking about the stars is it changes our perspective. We think of the meteor showers and these great conjunctions taking place, huge cycles of time being completed, and so on, and that can give us some perspective. And then when we meet again next Monday, we'll have a little solstice ceremony. Okay, so in the meanwhile, have a beautiful week, and I look forward to seeing you again. And let me just say that the Order is having an online solstice event on Saturday, the 19th at 7 p.m. If you look at in the OBOD YouTube channel or Facebook channel, you'll see at 7 p.m. there's an online event that's being organized, and I believe some special film has been taken of a mistletoe cutting ceremony, which will be included, I think, in that. So I'm looking forward to that tremendously. On Sunday, the Druid, I interviewed John Matthews, the well-known author on all these subjects dear to us, the Holy Grail and the Druid tradition, the Celtic traditions, and so on. And after knowing John for over 30 years, I managed to pin him down and interview him. And they talk about interviews being, the trick is to just light the touch paper. And by gosh, I lit the touch paper and John just exploded. And you can hear that and his revelations in Druidcast on Sunday. And yeah, and then I'll see you on Monday. So, okay, bye everybody. Lots and lots of love.